Hey, it's Michelle here. Quick question before we jump into today's episode. Let me guess. Are you the strong one? Are you like the steady one, the one that everyone leans on? Maybe on the inside, though, life feels like it's pretty hard. You might have a hard time expressing yourself, all the thoughts and the opinions and the ideas that you have, but never quite make it out. Maybe you struggle to take action, even when you know what you need to do. Or maybe you feel tired in a way that's really hard to explain. You're holding everything together for everyone around you, and people tell you they admire how strong you are, but nobody really sees what it costs you. And if any of that lands, maybe you've thought to yourself, well, that's just how I am. But here's what's actually going on. When you were a child and something overwhelmed your nervous system, your body adapted, your nervous system built a defense against that overwhelm. And over time, that defense became a habit, and then that habit became a pattern. And what we think of as our personality is so often just this old pattern running the show. So there are 5 different capacity patterns, and they're not personality types like the Enneagram or the Myers-Briggs. These actually describe the specific safety strategy that your nervous system defaults to anytime you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed or maxed out at capacity. They don't describe who you are so much as they describe what's blocking who you are. And once you know your pattern, you guys, you can actually do something about it. So if you haven't yet, go and take my free What's Your Capacity Pattern quiz. It's just a couple minutes, and once you get your quiz results, you'll be invited to listen to a free private podcast all about your capacity pattern. The link is in the show notes, or you can head on over to michellegrosser.com/quiz. Hey guys, Michelle Grosser here. What if I told you that you could reduce the level of stress you're feeling by 54% in just 7 days? Using the nervous system balancing exercises I teach, they only take 2 to 5 minutes a day. It's true. 97% of people report reduced feelings of stress, overwhelm, and burnout within just 5 minutes of doing these simple exercises that I want to teach you. Incorporating these exercises for just a few minutes a day has changed my life. It's 10x'd my productivity. It's allowed me to be so much calmer, more present with my children. It's increased my performance and creativity at work. It's stabilized my mood, my emotions. It's even improved my sleep. And it's not too good to be true. It's what naturally flows from a balanced and well-regulated nervous system. And that's why I want to invite you to my free live virtual workshop, the Mom Brain Masterclass, where I'm going to teach you what it takes to rewire that mom brain of yours so you can have tools that you can use for your anxiety, your overwhelm, and burnout, so you can be that calm, centered presence at home and at work. It's all happening on Wednesday, May 3rd at 12 p.m. Eastern via Zoom. It's absolutely free. I'm teaching it live, so I cannot wait to see you all there. And don't worry, if you really want to attend, but you just can't make it to the live event, just be sure to register, and we will email you the recorded replay afterward so you don't miss out. But if you are able to make it live, please do so, because I'll be hosting a live Q&A afterward so I can answer any questions you guys have. There is a link in the show notes. You can register today. I'll see you there for the Mom Brain Masterclass. Welcome to the Calm Mom Podcast, the show for ambitious women ready to get off the hot mess express. I know you've got a lot going on. You work so hard. You're raising an incredible family, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. I'm your host, Michelle Grosser. I'm a certified master life coach, attorney, wife, and mom. And years ago, I was right where you are. I was running a busy law practice while raising a family, and I was on the fast track to burnout. I thought I just needed to be more organized or have better routines, but it was learning how to heal and regulate my nervous system that expanded my capacity to gracefully hold more of this big, beautiful life. You too are worthy of an extraordinary life in and beyond motherhood. Learning to be a calm, anchoring presence in your home and at work is going to be your superpower. If you're here to do the inner work,
that brings a sense of calm amidst the chaos, I'm here to join you on that journey. Each time you press play, your growth continues. So let's get at it. Welcome to the Calm Mom Podcast. So grateful you're here with us today. I'm your host, Michelle Grosser. And today we are talking all about burnout on the podcast. Man, I've experienced seasons of burnout. You guys probably have too. For me, it's actually what led to this podcast and then the work I'm just so passionate about doing now, really just helping women regulate their nervous systems because burnout is rough. It's so rough. And if I can help women notice that it's coming and learn those warning signs and then really teach them what to do about it, that's big work. I know for me, man, I was running a multi-7-figure law firm with 2 attorneys and just a few amazing support staff. But as you guys can imagine, that's a ton of volume. Like that is a ton of work. And the practice of law itself is not really great for a regulated nervous system, at least in my experience in the last 12 years of practicing law. I'm a litigator, so it's just contentious. And unfortunately, attorneys can be really nasty because, well, they're probably super dysregulated themselves. And it's just an industry. It's just an industry that's primed for burnout. And I know a lot of you can probably resonate with a very stressful work environment. So I'm running this law firm and then I get pregnant and then the show must go on, entrepreneur life. So I'm bringing my baby to the office and literally trying to nurse her while I'm on conference calls so that she stays quiet in the office. And then, man, my oldest was 4 months old when I got pregnant again. So add all of that into the mix, like forget it. I was burning the candle at both ends. I was trying to do it all. I was too busy to even slow down enough to ask for help. And I didn't know the warning signs of burnout. And I really just went until my body said, nope, we're not doing this anymore. And I just drove myself straight to burnout. And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the warning signs of burnout because here's the thing. Burnout is not like I had a rough night of sleep and now I feel tired today, right? That's being tired. Also not fun, but it doesn't rise to the level of burnout. Burnout, on the other hand, is when you've been exposed to chronic stress over time, stress every single day, stress that eventually changes your nervous system on a physiological level. Because here's what happens with chronic stress. Chronic stress, it raises your baseline stress level. And that affects so much. When your baseline stress level is raised, it affects your digestion, affects your gut, it affects your mood, it affects your emotions, it affects how you process stress. It affects your creativity, your focus, your immune system is immensely affected by chronic stress, your sleep. If you can sleep, the quality of your sleep, our ability to socialize, so much of our just day-to-day functioning is really severely impacted by exposure to chronic stress. And when we experience that stress, our nervous system, it responds by shifting into a higher gear. Right? We've all had moments that have felt stressful and we know what it feels like to shift into a higher gear, right? Our heart starts racing, our muscles tense, we get ready for whatever it is our body thinks we have to do. But here's the thing, when that stress becomes more prolonged, when we're not talking about like, I see my kid walking towards a busy street and I like jump into fight or flight and go grab her and bring her back and then my body's able to regulate. Like that's a moment in which stress is really appropriate and helpful. But when we don't take care of our bodies and our body is experiencing chronic stress, work, health, relational, whatever kind of stress it is, motherhood presents its whole own slew of stress, right? When it becomes prolonged, it actually builds up in our nervous system. And as our nervous system holds more and more stress, our nervous system becomes less flexible and it becomes more prone to moving right into fight or flight or into a dorsal vagal shutdown response fairly quickly. So because of that chronic stress, your nervous system, it actually deviates from its normal resting baseline. So as you can imagine, that cumulative wear and tear on our bodies from this chronic stress, it takes a toll. It takes a toll on us and it causes burnout, which is just our body saying like, I'm unable to cope with all this stress. I am exhausted. I am depleted, both mentally and physically. So when our nervous system is chronically dysregulated because of chronic stress, we become burnt out. And what's the goal? The goal is really to expand our window of tolerance. And you guys have heard me talk about the window of tolerance before, but essentially our window of tolerance is simply what we can do, what we can hold stress-wise without becoming dysregulated, right? So our nervous system becomes more resilient and we're able to actually hold and do more things that are stressful without shifting into a dysregulated state. So that's why now I'm still doing a ton of stuff. I'm still holding a ton, guys. I still manage a law firm. I run this podcast, 3 episodes a week, interviews on Wednesday. I do all of the recording and editing and publishing of it myself. I run a coaching business that is nearly full. We just started really opening up the coaching at the beginning of the year, and we're here 4 months in, and I think I just looked, I have 4 spots available for coaching for the month of April. So I'm nearly at capacity. My husband and I pastor a church here in South Miami, which means that there are a ton of midweek ministries that require my attention. We have meetings on Monday mornings with our staff, and I'm a part of all of that. I'm obviously a mom. I'm a wife. I make time to exercise and move my body 5-6 days a week. Guys, I clean my own house, and I do this all without it stressing me out and without it causing me to feel super overwhelmed or burnt out. And I say all this not to say yay me, but I say it because this is what's possible when you expand your capacity. This is what's possible when you do the nervous system work and the exercises that I teach inside the course we're launching later this spring. It's called the Calm Mom Academy. Because let me tell you what, with all that I have going on right now, if I was trying to do all of this 5 years ago, when I did not have the tools to regulate my nervous system, I'm telling you, like, I'd be a hot mess express, like front row hot mess express. It would be a disaster. I would be so miserable. The people around me would probably be so miserable because my nervous system just wouldn't be able to handle it. I know myself. I was there. I'd be stuck in this loop between anxiety, overwhelm, and burnout. I would not be fun to be around. But because I've done the work and I've gone all in and I've committed to these practices that now literally take me 2 minutes, right? I'm now doing more than ever, and I can't tell you guys the last time that I lost it. I can't tell you the last time that I had an emotional outburst. I can't tell you the last time that I just felt really burnt out and depleted and dissociated and numbed out and shut down. And guys, the science shows that it only takes about 6 weeks of these exercises that I teach to heal your nervous system. When you start doing these exercises, you're going to see improvements immediately. But this is good news. Like, you're able to actually heal your nervous system and expand your window of tolerance, right? The stress you can hold without losing it, without becoming dysregulated, without switching into a state of anxiety or overwhelm or burnout by doing these super simple 2 to 5 minute balancing exercises daily for 6 weeks. It is incredible. All right, so let's talk about some of the most common signs of burnout. So if you guys resonate with any of these, you have the awareness that your body is trying to communicate with you, right? It's trying to communicate. It's trying to tell you it's chronically stressed. It's dysregulated. It needs balance. It needs rest. It needs healing so that, 2, you can give it what it needs and you can do something about it before you end up really sick. Like anything else that's off in your body, early intervention is really key. So just being aware of these warning signs of burnout can be really powerful. Have you ever caught yourself wondering why you do the things you do? Like, why do you get so angry and yell at your kids when they're moving at a snail's pace in the morning? Or why is it so hard to relax when the house is a mess? If so, you've got to take my personality patterns quiz. Because here's what's going on. When you were a child, whenever an experience overwhelmed your nervous system, you subconsciously built a defense against that overwhelm. And over time, those defenses became a habit, and then they became a pattern. And now as an adult, what we think of as our personality is really actually often this defense pattern running the show. It's so interesting, right? There's 5 different personality patterns, and they're not personality types like the Enneagram or the Myers-Briggs, but rather they describe the safety strategy that you immediately go to when you start to feel overwhelmed. They don't describe who you are, but rather what's actually blocking who you are. And the good news is that once you take the quiz and you learn about your pattern, you can learn skills to break out of that pattern and then live and parent as your true and authentic self. So click on the quiz link in the show notes or go to michellegrosser.com/quiz now to take my 2-minute personality patterns quiz. So if any of these sound familiar, do yourself a favor and pay attention. All right, the first warning sign, we're going to go through 10 of these fairly quickly. The first one is low energy. And this is the obvious starting point. I think as moms, as working moms, as high-achieving working moms, we all experience some level of energy dips at some points or others during the day or the week or the month. This is the obvious starting point. But when I talk about low energy as it relates to burnout, I'm talking about this level of energy that's just like, it doesn't matter how much sleep you got. It doesn't matter where you are in your cycle. It doesn't matter the quality of sleep. You just don't ever feel fresh, and you never feel alert, and you never feel energized and playful and excited. You're just kind of blah. Another warning sign, the second one of burnout, is brain fog. Brain fog, I can think back after having both of my babies just in such a state of brain fog. Like I could not think clearly. I remember trying to just read emails at work or like read a book at night, and I would read the same email like 3 times and still not process what it is that I was reading. And I know that's probably happened to you guys too, right? You're like reading and you read a whole paragraph and then you're like, I have no idea what I just read. And you have to go back and read it again. It's brain fog. You're forgetful, right? We forget things all over the place. We misplace things. We forget things that were on our calendar or things we agreed to, or we just can never find our phone or our keys or whatever it is. We find that we're forgetful. And you want to talk about forgetful? Like forget creativity. Creativity is zapped when we're burned out. So if you find that you are lacking creativity, if you find you're frustrated because new ideas aren't coming to you for your work, or whatever other space that you really value creativity, your body might be telling you that it's facing burnout. Okay, third, apathy. Apathy. You just feel like you don't care about stuff anymore. You don't care about the things you used to be passionate about. You used to do these hobbies that used to bring you joy, and now you're just like blah. You know, your stuff's just sitting in a corner and you haven't touched it in weeks or months. You feel like what you do doesn't really matter. Like there's no point to it. You don't really see like value in the things that you used to do. And you really feel, I think with this point, like a loss of enjoyment. Like things that even used to bring you joy are just blah. Like that's the best way to describe the apathy. You just don't find that joy anymore. Number 4, the fourth warning sign of burnout is irritability. Irritability. And it's usually misplaced irritability. You're usually just super annoyed by everyone and everything. People do things and it bugs you and it sets you off and they don't really understand why, and you really don't understand why. You have less compassion for others, compassion fatigue, instead of, being understanding of things that your partner might tell you or bring to you, or your children or your coworkers. Instead, it just kind of annoys you and irritates you and bugs you, and you're just finding that you're more judgmental and that you have a short fuse and you're just irritable. Number 5, a fifth warning sign of burnout. Number 5 is that you have a hard time sleeping. You have a hard time falling asleep. You have a hard time staying asleep. You have a hard time getting quality rest. You're just kind of tossing and turning all night. Your brain isn't shutting off, so you're just like the loops in your mind are just going all night long. You're like spiraling. You just can't turn it off. And then when you wake up or you get up in the morning, like even after having a good night's sleep, or even after taking a day off, or even after going on a vacation, you still don't ever really feel rested. It's exhausting. Number 6, sixth warning sign of burnout is withdrawing. So you might find that you really just want to be alone all the time. Things that you used to enjoy doing with other people, you don't want to enjoy anymore. You probably haven't seen your girlfriends for a while. You haven't gone out with whatever group you used to enjoy going out and spending time with. Play dates, maybe if you enjoyed doing that with your kids, you haven't done that in a while. You find that anything that you do have on your calendar, you find that you're canceling all those plans because you just can't handle it. You just don't want to. You'd rather just be alone because you are burnt out. All right, the seventh one. The seventh one is that you find that you get sick frequently. Like you're always sick. You don't understand it. Anything that comes through your house, you get it. You feel like you're healthy for a few days or a few weeks, and then all of a sudden you're sick again. It's just really hard for you to stay healthy. It's obvious that your immune system is struggling. And then there's other ways too that your body also starts to show signs of burnout. So yes, an immune system that's suppressed is definitely one, but your body shows other ways. You could notice that you're burnt out if you find that your hair is starting to fall out, or your nails all of a sudden seem like they're really brittle, or your skin is becoming way more sensitive to certain things, reacting to certain things that it didn't before. Those can all be signs that you're burnt out. Number 8 is if you feel a lack of motivation to do anything really. Maybe it shows up as procrastination. Maybe you are experiencing more self-doubt, right? Maybe that inner critic voice is louder than usual. That could be a sign of burnout. Maybe you are doing and you are producing some stuff, but you're just kind of dissatisfied with anything that you do. Like none of it really feels good enough. You don't feel like you're performing at the level you want to be ever. That can be a sign of burnout. 9th, digestive issues. So often, right? Our stomach, our gut is called our second brain. So often our digestive issues are directly related to the health of our nervous system and dysregulation. So if you're someone who has experienced or is experiencing IBS, any sort of irregularity, difficulty going to the bathroom, any sort of digestive issues, heartburn, all of that can be linked to nervous system dysregulation and can be a sign of burnout. And then finally, number 10 is chronic muscle tension. So if you're someone who always seems to have, back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, just general like aches and pains in your joints that don't seem to be caused by anything in particular, but are just kind of always around. If you're someone who always has headaches, right? And you're like, why do I always have these headaches? Is it screen time? Is it, my vision prescription's off? Like if you're constantly having muscle tension, aches, pains, headaches, that's not normal, you guys. That's not normal. And it could be a warning sign of burnout. Your body could be trying to tell you to slow down, rest, recover, heal, take care of me. And if you guys resonate with a few of these signs of burnout, a couple, many, I would really love to support you. I know a lot of you have responded to the 1 hour one-on-one unstuck sessions that we're offering right now. But as of right now, I do have 4 sessions still open for the month of April. So if this is something you've been thinking about, you've been considering, or if you're just listening to this and you're like, dang, you're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, and you hear all these burnout signs and you're finally ready to take action and to do something about it because you deserve it, right? You deserve to feel better. You deserve to feel better, and your family deserves it too. They deserve you at your best. I would just suggest, go ahead and book your Unstuck session today. Grab one of those 4 April spots. It's a low time commitment. It's only 1 hour. And it's a low financial commitment, right? You're not purchasing this huge coaching package, but friends, it is powerful. And for the women who've purchased them, I know they would tell you the same thing. You will leave with a plan to start healing your burnout. So I'm going to put a link for you guys in the show notes. It's going to take you right to my website, right to the page where you can book your Unstuck session. Get it booked today while I still have availability. It's time for you to do something about this burnout. You don't have to live like this, and I can help you. So get some help. If it's me, get some help. If it's a therapist or a doctor or someone else. But I love you guys so much, and you really don't have to deal with all of this. You deserve to feel better because I know there is such a calling and such a purpose on your life. And I want you to be feeling your best so you can be showing up your best. All right. Have a good one. I'll talk to you guys soon.
If you love Mommy's Podcast, leave a review.
If you enjoyed this episode, it would be so awesome if you could take a moment to subscribe and rate the podcast. And if you have just a few more seconds to leave a quick review, they really help to get this podcast out to other moms like you. I read every last review, and trust me, when it's late at night or early in the morning before my kids get up and I'm working on bringing you all of this content, your reviews are what keep me going. Leaving a review is truly the best way you can thank me. And of course, DM me on Instagram. I love to hear from you. Thanks for listening to another episode. Head over to the show notes for this episode and all past episodes at michellegrosser.com, where you'll find free resources and more ways to connect with me. If you love the show, share it with a friend. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next time.